in this situation. So we have to stand up for the victims in this country, that silent majority that is being hurt by these anti-energy policies. And at the end of the day, that's why I join my colleagues to support an all-the-above energy approach to put people back to work, to lower the cost of energy in this country, and to make us more secure by making us less dependent on foreign sources of energy.
And you know, I've got some good news for my colleagues here tonight.
Well, we need it.
And I'd like to lay this out and give the President the opportunity to digest what I'm about to say and change his mind on the Keystone Pipeline. We know that he's been torn between workers on one side and environmental extremists on the other. And he's been looking and grasping for any excuse not to approve the affordable energy, the jobs that come with the Keystone Pipeline. And you know, there's a lot of these same similar arguments, whether you're talking about coal or the Keystone Pipeline or the natural gas that we're getting out of the ground, that has really revolutionized this country and provided so many jobs for so many workers. But one of the reasons that opponents of the Keystone Pipeline have said that they're opposed to the Keystone Pipeline is that the tar sands that's coming out of being taken out of the ground in Canada, at its core, it's bitumen, which is a little bit different kind of crude. And a lot of them have said, well, you know, we're opposed to the Keystone Pipeline because it's different than other pipelines. This crude is different. This crude is more corrosive. This crude is dangerous. This crude should not be going through pipelines across this country because it's somehow more dangerous. Well, I've got great news for the President tonight if he's watching this. The great news is, in January of 2012, we put in a requirement in legislation that required the Obama administration. I want to be real clear about this because this is breaking news and it broke today. It hadn't gotten a lot of attention, but it's critical. We put in our bill that became law that the Obama administration needed to do a study through the Department of Transportation to determine whether this bitumen really was different than other crude. Well, it really was more dangerous to pass through a pipeline across the country. Whether it was really something we needed to be extra worried about. Because all the environmentalists, all the different folks who oppose the Keystone Pipeline, they just preach about bitumen and how dangerous it is.
Well, I can't wait. What did the study say?
Here's the study, my friend. And this is just great news. The National Research Council, not some third-party political group, working for the Obama administration, the Secretary of Transportation, pursuant to this Congress's request that they study it. I've got the executive summary right here, and this just came out today. Here's what they concluded. And this is big news, because this is one of the reasons the President is against Keystone Pipeline. It says, quote, the committee does not find any causes of pipeline failure unique to the transportation of diluted bitumen. Furthermore, the committee does not find evidence of chemical or physical properties of diluted bitumen that are outside the range of other crude oils or any other aspect of its transportation by transmission pipeline that would make diluted bitumen more likely than other crude oils to cause releases.
Are you saying it's just as safe as the oil that goes through pipelines and hundreds of thousands of miles already across the United States of America?
I wish I could have said it that clearly. But the bottom line is, this isn't Tim Griffin saying it. This is the Obama administration's own study that we mandated they conduct. And I'll tell you, if you look at the arguments against the Keystone Pipeline that the environmental extremists have been putting out there, this is numero uno, number one, at the top. They've been basing almost their whole deal on this. And the Obama administration says, sorry, not backed up by the facts.
So we need to say, what's the holdup? What's the holdup, Mr. President? Mr. Speaker, we have got, again, I cannot emphasize this enough, and the whole point of this hour tonight is to say, based on that information and this new war on American families and American jobs, what is the holdup? What is the deal? This is 20,000 jobs, and we're just continually seeing this president the president that's for the all the above energy approach at every corner attack domestic energy production. I just don't understand.
In Colorado, the district that I represent, we do really have it all. We have a coal mine. We have wind energy, not only the wind farms, but we have wind energy manufacturing. We have one of the nation's most promising oil and gas plays right now in the Niobrara in Weld County. In western Colorado, we have thousands of jobs that are being created and thousands more that could be created if government would get out of the way and approve the permits that they're holding back on. In fact, the Bureau of Land Management, if they were just to approve a handful of permits at the BLM waiting right now, could create over 100,000 jobs. That this country could put to work right now 100,000 people if these permits were approved. And so to hear the president talk about an all-of-the-above energy policy and then to see his actions that go in complete opposite direction.
You know, I would almost rather the president just be straight up and say, you know, I only like some kind of jobs. And I don't like those kind.
And I only like some kinds of energy.
Yeah, just be straight up with us, Mr. President. Just say, you know what? I got a war on coal. I got a war on the Keystone Pipeline. I got a war on natural gas and removing it out of the ground, slowing down permits. I like a certain kind of energy, and I'm going to try to fund it through the government. Just be straight up.
And let me just say this real quick as a reminder, Mr. Speaker. Tonight's conversation is at hashtag affordable energy, and so I just wanted to remind you, Mr. Speaker, that that's where we're having this conversation tonight alongside countless others. So just wanted to throw that in there as this conversation continues.
Well, I would also point out, and again, go into the environmental responsibility that we have. You as a mother, I'm a father of two, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. We all want clean air and clean water for them. And I would point out that Duke University last month, working with the University of Arkansas and working with the Obama administration's own U.S. Geological Survey, concluded that well water, they tested about 130 wells in Arkansas, something like that, that well water was not polluted by the natural gas extraction that's going on there. Just more factual evidence that we can have the jobs, and if we extract the energy responsibly, we can take care of the environment at the same time.
And one of the most promising things about American energy development is not just the fact that it's creating thousands of jobs, but it's the side benefits of what the revenues that are produced, what that revenue goes to. In fact, in Weld County, Colorado, in my district, it's a county